Alright guys, so welcome back to Spiritually Selfish channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristina Day, and here on this channel we focus on you so that you can raise your vibration and become conscious creator of your own life. And today I'm gonna start the video a little bit different, right? It's a channel about focus on yourself, but I'm gonna talk about myself. So today I want to share with you guys some personal experience and why shadow work really never ends. Because some of you know or might not know, a couple of videos back, I think it was called I'm Tired. I shared with you that I was trying to get my driver license done. It's one of the reasons why I actually came back to Latvia is to get my freaking driver license done. And yesterday, finally, for the 5th time of trying and going to the exam, I passed. And now I'm officially a car driver. I do have a license. So that's exciting. But what I wanted to share with you is that, I had no idea and I didn't expect for something simple as, getting your car driver license will bring up actually a lot of unconscious or subconscious beliefs and stuck emotions from me, right? So I was actually required, and it was a great opportunity for me to do some shadow work as I was trying to get and pass the exam. So I just want to share a couple of things with you. First of all, my intention is to show you shadow work never ends, and no matter how skilled and enlightened and spiritual, quote unquote, you are, we always have, we always can get better. We always have some unconscious shadow that is governing us, that is in some way, shape, or form affecting us. So, and it goes across all areas of life, right? So I just want you to feel okay that you're normal whenever new stuff comes up, and see it rather as an opportunity for healing. Not, beating yourself up. Oh, I have another thing to heal. I'm not good enough, and so on and so forth. So, just for the context, I came back to Latvia in June 2019 after living in Bali in Australia, and I think it was like late July or beginning of August in 2019 when I started going to the driving schooling, and I started to take practices. So fast forward, I took maybe 10 or 15 driving lessons, which is quite quick, but I'm doing the automatic, not the manual. So I went to the driver. I passed all the exams, everything. I done it so quickly because I was really determined. But then I think it was end of September or beginning of October 2019 when I went to the kind of country level exam to pass it, and I failed. And then I went the next day and I failed again, and I was like, fuck, I really feel I don't have enough practice. I felt there's no point of me of trying the third time. I actually need more practice and time being on the road, because mind you, I spent the last 2.5 years driving on the left side, right? I was driving scooter in Bali on the left side. I lived in Australia where I mainly were going by walk or transport. I didn't really need a car, so my brain was completely working in a different dimension way. I cannot tell you how many times actually when I was driving with my instructor, I drew into the left side. And I don't know, bless my instructor, probably he had a couple of times nearly, what are you doing? But yeah, that's just funny. So I was like, what, I need at least 10 more driving lessons to get used to the road. But at that time I was just kind of in the beginning of my first marketing business. I spent all of my money to fly from Bali back to Latvia, and that was the period when I was also doing my first initial lots of shadow work. So I did not feel like working, and I basically did not have money to, another 300-400 euros to go spend on, driving lessons. So basically, fast forward, I forgot about it for 2 years, and now in August I decided to restart it. So I got like 6 lessons with my driving instructor in August, and then because of the lockdowns and everything, there's actually been a 1.5 month queue line just to get to the exam, where previously you could go the next freaking day. So I took my lessons. I went in this September 2021 for the exam, failed again, went in November, failed again, and yesterday, 14th of December, I finally passed it. And the funniest thing is the road conditions were the worst I could imagine for exam, right? It was like black ice, it was sleet, rain, snow. It was like very hard to see because there's no like sunlight normal now during the winter in Latvia. But I managed to pass. I'm telling you all of this just to show you how many times I actually tried. There were obviously times when I thought, my God, Kristina, what the actual fuck? You can't pass the freaking exam. What's wrong with you? What's going on? And the first 2 times in 2019, I obviously was like, okay, Kristina, you don't have enough practice. Then I forgot about it. But then when I continued to fail in September and in November, I was like, okay, there's something going on underneath why I cannot pass. And now when I passed, I want to share some things with you. So number one thing which I realized, I was reminded again that it is so crucial to be confident about what you're doing. Because the 2 times in 2019, I will be honest, I was not confident on road because, when you're driving, you have to do some multiple things. You have to pay attention to signs, you have to pay attention to the road, to pedestrians, obviously drive the car itself, right? So when our mind has to multitask in that way, and it's not like in the subconscious yet, it's more challenging for us to be in the present moment and to actually, hey, I know what I'm doing, right? So now in September and October, after again going to practice lessons, and also I want to give a huge shout out to the virtual driver education platform that I started using in December. If you are in Latvia and you want to, you're planning on passing the driving license exam, I highly recommend Roland Burnickis and his platform Bava, because it is how I learned a lot of the stuff and I became more confident in myself and my driving skills, right? So number one, you have to be really confident in what you're doing, about like, hey, I actually know what I'm doing, right? And I know sometimes, people like, just do it, figure it out on the fly. Obviously, it works in some cases, but not on the road. However, it's not always yes that you need to know how to do something, but you have to do it with confidence, right? Because when we are confident in ourselves, in our skill, we then are more able to actually ground and be present in the now moment, to actually analyze things, not be stressed and have our mind in 10,000 other things, right? Not worrying. So when I went to the exam on September and October, I was actually super confident in my skills. And the only reasons why I didn't pass were like, seriously, some silly mistakes that in real life no one will even pay attention, like forgot to, like, it was my mistake, forgot to check something. But with that being said, whenever you do anything, you start a business, I don't know, you approach a girl or a guy, or you know, want to do something new, you actually have to be confident and be really present in the now moment. And the second thing, what I want to share with you, and this is where it comes in, you know, that the shadow work never truly ends, is that I was like, okay, Kristina, you actually know what you're doing. Why you still are not passing the exam? And here's the thing, guys, you have to get brutally honest with yourself. What the hell is going on behind the scenes with your mind and your energy? Because I looked at myself deep down inside and I uncovered some unconscious fears. And I'm going to share with you some, like, for example, you know, it's very common not to have a car here in Latvia, because especially if you are in the capital city. The capital city is super small. You know, you can drive from one side to another side in less than an hour. There's really good public transport system. So it's not necessarily to have a car as, you know, to when I used to live in US or Australia, like you need a car to go somewhere, right? So it's very common that people do not have car. In my childhood, majority of my life, we did not have a car, you know, and now we also don't have a car. So I had some unconscious beliefs that were like, why do you need a driving license? You don't need a driving license. And it felt so unfamiliar for me to have a car because we never had a car. So I was still holding onto identity of a person who doesn't own a car, who doesn't have a driving license. You know, my mom doesn't have a driving license, right? So it's very common. And I just want to share this with you because as I was realizing, I'm holding onto this old identities from my childhood. That's one. Second thing, part of me that I uncovered were like really scared to get a driving license. Part of me was like, oh, I'm afraid. I don't know what's gonna happen after we're gonna get the license. I'm actually terrified to go on the road by my own. Or if I plan to travel, I'm actually terrified to go and drive car on my own without any practice in a foreign country. And then there was part of me was like, who was actually angry at me, that who do you think you are? Do you think you're gonna be an adult now and go and just get your driving license? You're not gonna get that. You're gonna fail, right? I was afraid to get an adult. Like, think about it. I've traveled solo in Brazil. I've traveled all over the world, in Australia, in US, and like there were this unconscious nonsense beliefs, stuck emotions that were actually preventing me from getting the license. And I was obviously unconscious, on conscious level, I did want to get the license. But on the unconscious, I was afraid. My emotions, my old identities were uncomfortable with this desire that I wanted to bring. Okay? So once I cleared them, once I really paid attention to them, and I understood that it is safe for me to get a license, I, nurtured that scared girl. I nurtured and listened to that angry girl within me who was afraid to become an adult, right? And it was gone. In an instance, like a day before I was going to the exam, I was so excited to finally get my license. I was like, yes, this is done. I finally was able to anchor the desire that this is done, right? Because in previous times, if I'm honest with you guys, I knew that I can get the license, but I did not believe that it is done, okay? I still was holding a probability that, oh, maybe something is gonna go wrong, right? And it did, obviously. So with that being said, guys, I hope that this was beneficial to you, and really, I just shared this with you, personal story of mine, so that you realize shadow work never ends. There's always some unconscious stuck emotions that we have no idea that are affecting us, and probably I will not even become aware of them if I will not make a decision to do something new, right? How often do you go and get a driving license? Not that often, right? So treat every opportunity, no, treat everything that you want to do for the first time as an opportunity, and be prepared and know that if you want to achieve this, that there will be coming up some things from your subconscious and unconscious that be like, hey, we actually do not agree, and we actually do not believe that you're gonna do it. So you have to lovingly, in a nurturing way, pay attention to them, heal them, feel them, and release them, so that then you can move forward, right? We do not identify with this stuff, we just pay attention to it. Alright guys, so I hope this video was helpful to you and help you to realize some new things. If it did, you always can find the donation link. Obviously donations are appreciated but never expected. I would love to hear down below in the comments from you, you know, what maybe are some fears that you are now facing on towards your goals. Please give it a like, share it with a friend, right? And yeah, I'm looking forward to hear from you in the comments, and we'll talk soon. Bye!